Thanks. All right, we're gonna open the public hearing. First one on 28600 Emery Road, generator, to consider requested variance from Orange Village zoning code for the property located at 28600 Emery Road. JF and Christina L. Capes are seeking a side yard variance. Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended the variance be granted. Is there anybody here who'd like to speak on behalf of this? All right, if there is nobody, then we'll go ahead and close the public hearing on that. Moving on to the next, we're going to open the public hearing for 28021 Miles Road, the Shell gas station, to consider requested variances from the Orange Village zoning code for the property located at 28021 Miles Road. Moriam Begum on behalf of MA Gas Properties LLC. Planning and Zone Commission unanimously recommended the variance be granted. Is there anybody who'd like to speak on behalf of that issue?
I just have a quick question on that. Is this the time for that?
No,
Not later.
really.
No,
No.
Later. Okay.
public hearing.
Okay, that's fine. I'll save it.
So, again, anybody who's wishing to speak on that? No. Okay, if there's nobody looking to speak on that, then we'll go ahead and, Mr. Rahman, are you looking to speak on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any comments that you want to make?
You know what? I was disconnected for a second. I didn't hear you.
It's just a public hearing, and if there's any comments from anybody regarding the Shell gas station. If you don't have any comments, that's fine, and we can go ahead and we'll close the public hearing. We're going to call the special council meeting to order, and if you'd call roll, please.
Klein.
Here.
Vincent.
Here.
Kurland.
Here.
Silver.
Here.
Bilski.
Here.
Harry.
Here.
Duper.
I'm here. And if you'd mute everybody who's not on council, please.
I think I did. Am I missing somebody?
No, we're all good now. All right. I will make a motion to adopt the final order and decision of council and conclusions of fact to grant a side yard variance request for the property located at 28600 Emery Road. Is there a second?
Second.
What's that? Ms. Vincent, did you? Okay. Or,
Was it Mrs. Vincent? That's who
all
I.
right. Are there any comments on that variance? Okay. If not, Anna, if you'd please call roll, please.
Sure. Klein.
Yeah.
Vincent.
Yes.
Kurland.
Yes.
Silver.
Yes.
Bilski.
Yes.
Harry.
Yes.
Duper.
Yes. Somebody has a computer that's kind of making some noises if they can.
It has to be a council person. I don't see anybody else at the time.
All right. Regarding the next one, the motion to adopt final order and decision of council regarding 28021 Miles Road. I'm going to defer this for the moment, and we're going to discuss this in executive session. So we're going to come back to this probably next month at the next meeting. Moving on to a motion, I'll make a motion to authorize the expenditure not to exceed $15,987 for the purchase and installation of a 6-foot high chain link fence at the community garden from Auburn Fence Corporation. Second.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
If there's any questions, we have Mr. Goldhammer on here. He's TBG 12, I bet. He is here representing the service department for this item.
Okay.
Terry, you want to show your face to us?
Nope. Does anybody have any questions for Terry?
Just a
There.
clarification.
There's Terry.
Is the purpose for safety or is the purpose for keeping animals out, or why are we adding the fence to it?
Well, the current one's is no good anymore, right, Terry? Terry, unmute yourself and talk to us. Bob told me you knew everything there was about this fence.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the reason that we would like to replace the fence, the fence that's there now is the original fence installed when we put the garden in. And they're all wood fence posts. And it seems that every year there's, 1, 2, 3, or 4 fence posts that rot and break that we have to go in and replace. We've had multiple problems with rodents getting into the garden when the fence fails. And it doesn't look all that great either. So this new
Didn't we
fence.
build that one on the cheap? Didn't we build that one on the cheap to say, put off this day?
Yes. Yes, and it's the posts are all original, and it's the second fencing material that's been put up there since the garden was installed. And this new fence will be, this will be the last time that we have to do this. This will be a permanent installation that'll last for a long, long time before, we'll all be long gone before it needs to be replaced again. So that's the reason to put the new fence in.
This has been on Bob Zugan's and the service department's to-do list for a couple of years now.
I
One
would
year
like-
we couldn't get the fence, huh?
I just want to thank everybody for upgrading that fencing. That's really wonderful for our gardeners.
Well, we don't know yet till they vote.
The deer have also been known to jump right through the netting.
Yep. Anybody have any questions for Terry? Terry, are you going to be hanging on? Because I actually have a question for you down the road.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. Okay. All right. If nothing else on this, Anna, if you call roll, please.
Klein,
Yeah.
Vincent,
Yes.
Kurland,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Duber.
Yes. I'll make a motion to approve the treasurer's report for June and July 2022. Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you. Dana?
Good evening, everybody. Okay, we have 2 months to go through tonight. The first one is the June 30th, and the cash account had $11,663,848.70. Our June revenues for all funds was $935,581.39. And our June expenditures was $763,332.11. And you have the detailed line item revenue and expenditures for all funds because it's a quarter ending. We're at 50% of the year. And really, there was basically all timing differences. Nothing really stands out as extraordinary for any of the funds. And so nothing really earth shattering there. I'll go into the July, and then if you have questions, I can answer any questions you might have on both. For July, we ended up with $12,301,570.69 in our cash account. Our July revenues were for all funds $1,314,530.18. And our July expenditures were $676,808.19. Fund 298 was the American Rescue Plan Fund, and that shows the second half distribution that we received for those funds. You'll see that revenue. There is no expenditures because we haven't appropriated anything to be an expenditure at that time. We have subsequently did a minor expenditure for some COVID vaccinations that we did at the last council meeting, but that was in August. So you'll see that in the August report. And again, there is really, you have the general fund, and there was just some timing differences on any of the variances. So that's all I have for the treasurer reports.
All right, thank you. Anybody have any questions or comments for Dana? All right, if you call roll, please.
Klein,
Yeah.
Vincent,
Yes.
Kurland,
yes,
Silver,
yes,
Bilski,
Yes.
Perry,
yes,
Duber.
Yes. I'll make a motion to approve the tax administrator's report for June and July 2022. Is there a second?
second,
Thank you. Dana?
Okay, you have the tax administrator report for June. Our gross collections from all sources was $739,816.97. That's before our expenditures that we pay Rita for collecting. And that was $14,600 more than what we had collected in June of 2021. And our year-to-date for through June was about $603,000 over where we were year-to-date in 2021. Moving on to the July report, our gross collections for July from all sources was $805,224.55, which was about $118,000 more than July of 2021. And our year-to-date was $4,555,766.59. And that's almost $722,000 year-to-date higher than where we were for 2021. The bottom, you'll see our budget and just doing a 7 out of 12. You'll see that we're from just a point in time, we're higher than where we had budgeted, but we typically budget on a conservative level. But we are trending higher than what we had budgeted for the year so far. So that's a positive. You have the gross tax monthly revenue chart that shows each month from 2019 to 2022 that shows what our collections were for each of those months. And then you also have the line chart that's the cumulative showing the trending where we were for each of those years from 2019 through July of 2022. And you can see we're kind of trending higher. And so we're still looking at a very positive light for our income tax collections. That's all I had.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions for Dana?
I have a question. Just in terms of the increased income tax revenue, that's solely a result of a larger population and new additions to the village in terms of, people moving into some of the new developments or housing
And higher incomes.
and higher
And more
incomes as
employment.
well.
A lot of this is wage withholding too.
Gotcha.
Right, Dana?
Yeah, so you can look in the chart that I show you, you can see how much higher we are in terms of wage withholding, and it breaks it out from individual taxpayers as well as the net profit. The largest is our individual taxpayers. The second largest category is our wage withholding, which is our businesses and those collections that we've had there. So, I mean, it's pretty much, looks like it's about, the majority of it's between wage withholding and the individual taxpayers is where most of that increase is coming from.
Thanks. Any other questions or comments for Dana? All right. Thank you, Dana. Anna, if you'd call roll, please.
Losing my voice. Klein, Vincent,
Yes.
Kurland,
yes,
Silver,
yes,
Bilski,
Yes.
Perry,
yes,
Duber.
Yes. Moving on to discussion of the bills to be paid in the month of September in the amount of $517,550.19. And additional August expenses in the amount of $7,227,616.21. Does anybody have any questions on the, obviously the big number there is the Pinecrest tip. Anyone have any questions on the bills? All right. If not, let's move on to audience comments relating to agenda items only. Anybody? All right. There is no old business. Moving on to new business. Resolution 2022-4, resolution approving the adoption of the Cuyahoga County 2022 through 2027 all hazards mitigation plan and declaring an emergency. I will make a motion to pass this resolution. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Klein. Anybody have questions on this? Mayor, do you want to?
I'd like Chief Wilson to jump in here and tell you all about it.
Okay.
Well, I can't tell you a lot about it, but it lasts for every 5 years. We have to vote a new one in for the county. So we've been working on it, myself, Zugan, I believe Chief Costura, Anna. We worked on this for probably about the last year and a half to gather information for them. And basically, they put this together as a county, and it enables us, in case there is a man-made or natural disaster, for us to be able to obtain grant money. You have to have this mitigation on the record to be able to get those funds.
Thanks. Anybody have a question? All right. Well said, Chief. Anna, if you call roll, please.
Klein,
Yeah.
Vincent,
Yes.
Kurland,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Perry,
Yes.
Duber.
Yes. Moving on to the audience comments, which relating to matters which advance the good of the village. Is there anyone? All right. If not, Mayor, comments.
I have no report this evening.
All right. I just have one, and Terry, this is where I'm looking back at you. I don't know if anybody else has experienced that. I've had a lot of power outages for the last week or so. Has anybody else been having these? And I didn't.
We've had internet outages, no power outages.
It's been affecting our internet dramatically.
Well, I've had internet outages, but I've also had today, twice this morning, the power went out. Night ago, it went out once or twice. A few nights before that, went out a couple times. I wasn't sure if anybody else, but Terry, I think you were asking some questions about it, right?
Yeah, I talked to Dean Hain this morning. He's our First Energy representative, and he was supposed to touch base with you, Brandon.
Yeah, he didn't.
He did not. Well, he was going to get back to me as well, and he did not.
Okay.
While I did have him on the phone, he was able to go in the computer and actually look at your account at your address, and it did not show any power outages, which was puzzling. So at least recently,
I have witnesses.
So I did explain to him, what Bob Zugan had passed on to me, and he was going to look into it further and said he would touch base with you. But and the other thing that I drove around just to make sure that First Energy wasn't working in the area, Miles Road and back in the villas. And I also haven't seen any oops tickets pulled by First Energy, possibly if they were working to repair an underground fault or something in the area. And I didn't see any of those either. So
I don't know if this is
it's very
connected.
puzzling.
Terry, I don't know if this is connected, but DeSico told me that AT&T was down at Miles.
That wouldn't have any there. That would be totally separate from First Energy. But like Dean Hain didn't write, when I had him on the phone, when he was looking at the records, nothing concerning popped up as far as power outages in that area recently.
I see, Mr. Rahman, you're raising your hand. You're right next door. Have you had some power outages? Oh, you're muted. You're muted, sir. And
We had it for a couple minutes, power outage after they got back. But
when was it? Today?
no, it
Oh.
was like a week and a half ago, something like that.
All right, thanks.
My question is, our thing is going to be postponed for next week or next meeting?
Correct.
Okay.
So, sorry about that.
No, that's okay. Do I have to be here, or my architect is on the line too? Or
Yeah,
he's up there?
Yeah, you guys, I would recommend both be here for the next one.
Okay, I don't know what's the date. Do you guys have any idea what date?
Yeah, it's actually the first meeting of next month is going to be canceled, so it's actually going to be the 12th.
October 12th, but I have a suggestion, Mr. Rahman. I will make sure to update Bob McLaughlin with whatever it is you need to know, and you can talk to him.
Okay, but you know what, the architect is not finishing his blueprint unless he is talking to, that's the reason. One more thing is, once we finish it, the bank is gonna come by and take a look at blueprint, and they will start processing for the approval. So I mean, you know, if I go like another month, that means I'm gonna go behind another month on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much that we can do, unfortunately. So, apologize.
So I can let my architect go. I can, because he's listening us too now.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
Dale?
there's no other action on this that you need to be here either for tonight's purposes.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you,
Yeah,
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So again, yeah, Terry, if you can have him get in touch with, I mean, it's been at least 5 or 6 times that power's gone out in the past week, so maybe I'm just blinking too hard.
Brandon, approximately for how long?
It's
each
pretty,
time
it's
it goes
pretty
out?
quick. I mean, it's off and on within 5 seconds, 15 seconds.
So
Does your
it's
cable
flashing.
box reset?
What's that?
Is your cable box reset each time?
My clocks do.
Microwave clock?
My clocks do, yeah.
Or Orange Hill residents noted the outages too. You've been
Oh,
posting
yeah.
another outage, another outage.
Oh, you guys have, okay, all right.
We used
All
to
right,
have
I
more
will-
problems, but this, I mean, this is not a new problem, but it's
Yeah, but
recurring.
it's just been over the past week or so, and there's been a lot. A couple of them have been, at, middle of the night, and then, like I said, there was 2 this morning at probably, I don't know, 8 o'clock, 7:30.
I'll call Dean again tomorrow morning, touch base with him again.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks, Terry.
Okay.
That's my only comment.
Hi, Terry.
Ms. Perry.
I don't think I have any comments tonight either.
Okay. Mr. Silver.
I have a quick question for Judd. Has the Ready Committee been meeting lately? I noticed there hasn't been any minutes posted since I think March, and I don't think I've heard you give any updates. What's the status of this?
The Ready Committee hasn't met for a while. It's last spring, that one I believe is over the summer.
I can't hear your connection's bad or something.
Can you hear me now?
It's a little better, yeah.
Talk
Okay.
really loud.
We haven't met because we went on hiatus over the summer. We were looking to sort of go in a different direction with the Ready Committee, and we're reaching out to other communities to work together on common issues. So we've had some conversations with Jason's committee to engage each other in that process.
I couldn't make out one word he
Yeah.
said. I don't need to know the answer, but I couldn't hear a word he
I
said.
think I got the gist of it, but it sounds like your microphone is.
Yeah, and we're gonna need you in a few minutes, so.
No, I'm gonna dial it.
Good
All
idea.
right. Any other comments?
Yeah, I know the repaving of Orange Hill has been going on, and there's been some neighbor complaints about it, some aspects of it, primarily through our Facebook page, and then some of it's warranted, some of it's not. Some people are complaining about it's taking forever, but it's taking as long as it said it would take. But some of the complaints, I think, are warranted regarding communication to residents about their driveways being blocked with little or no warning. So, Mayor, I don't know, I see you raising your hand. Do you want to
Yeah,
comment on
Brent,
that?
because after I was made aware of this, I brought it to Zugan and Mater's attention. Brian Mater spoke with the it's not the contractor who's messing up, it's the subcontractor, which doesn't release him from the obligation. But they were told absolutely in no uncertain terms, they are not to turn anybody's driveway unusable without advance notice. Now, part of the problem is it's probably 3 weeks behind schedule, so it's really not going on forever. But part of the 3 weeks is nothing in a project like this, but part of the problem is also that the subcontractor is limited in how much concrete he's allowed to get. Apparently, a lot of the concrete around town is going down south for a project that hasn't begun yet, but they're having trouble getting concrete. They're only allowed to pick some concrete up on certain days of the week. And so that's going to delay it a couple weeks because they can't pour the final layers until all of the grates have been done. There should be notices that Mr. Vargas was completely correct. I don't know if you saw my posting on there, but I
Yeah.
apologize to him for
Yeah.
that. And and then the laying of the asphalt coating will take no time at all. These boxes are what's holding it up.
Okay, is there any way that it can be communicated to
still
the
here?
residents a little bit more? That when they will be out, because it seems like sometimes they go away for a few days and it just, again, it all comes down to communication. If we just knew what the situation was, I think it would be a lot more palatable for a lot of people.
Terry,
Yes, I'm still here.
thank goodness.
Well, I think you covered everything pretty well there. And I did talk to the contractor myself, as I told you, and they were told that they were not to disable any driveways unless they give the resident 24 hours written notice. No more knocking on doors, and because we know people aren't home during the day there. I'm not in defense of the contractor. There were some delays also. I guess there was a death in the family. The father of the guy that owned the company, he passed away right in the middle of this. So they were off for the funeral. And yes, you're correct. There are shortages on concrete, and it's also affecting us. We have 3 areas in the park, some sidewalk repairs and a new sidewalk going to the second pickleball court that was supposed to be poured today, and they didn't pour it because they couldn't get concrete for it. So it's not only affecting Orange Hill, it's affecting, the stuff we got going on in the park that they were supposed to do for us as well.
Terry, do you want to, or Brent, maybe what we'll do next week's e-news, we'll put a little something in about it. We'll get an update from Brian Maynard what to put in.
Yeah, that'd probably be helpful. And, like I said, if we could just get some better communication, just so people know what to expect a little bit more, that'd be helpful.
And Kathy, you're on the site too. I mean, if you see these things come up, just go ahead and post, because I think people are looking to those pages for information.
I did
those-
respond.
Those social media pages. So that
I
way.
did respond.
I know you did. Yeah.
Okay. But I didn't want to say anything to the person who said this was a nightmare project, because she doesn't know what a nightmare project is. This is not a nightmare project.
Yeah, I know. And a lot of the complaints were people just wanting to complain. And I didn't think a lot of the complaints were warranted. And I think it's, from a time standpoint, it's taken how long they said it would take. So I don't have any complaints about that. I mean, you've been on our Facebook page, you see the complaints, you know how it is with some people.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I'm not gonna name names here, but you know what I'm talking about.
Any other comments, Mr. Silver?
That will do it. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Kurland.
Sorry about that. The only thing I'm going to say, because Brent forgot to say it, is it would be nice to be in person. Thank you.
Thanks. Noted. I hear you. All right. Mr. Bilski.
No comments this evening.
All right, Mr. Klein.
Can you hear me now?
Can.
Good. Okay. Planning Commission has not met. We'll meet next Tuesday. So there's no updated agenda items for that. I would make note of the fact that Planning Commission is in fact meeting in person. So
Yeah, I heard you. This doesn't need to be brought up by everybody every meeting. Seriously. We could do it with smiles, but I understand everybody's position. So I can bring up things and we could do this all day, but I get it.
Yeah, okay.
Noted.
Just beating the idea.
No, I understand. Dead horse. Thanks.
Brent, in response to your question earlier, I just wanted to make it a little more clear so you could understand it. The Ready Committee went on hiatus over the summer to consider reestablishing itself in sort of a different format, becoming more of a community forum that would engage other communities adjacent to Orange Village and in our area. I've reached out to some of those other communities who've asked for us to consider doing this after they've had a chance to have some conversations within their communities, and then we'll follow up and begin to engage in some further discussion on it. So that's where it's at the moment. It hasn't been, it's not gone, but it's we're looking to do it in a different way.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate the update.
Any other
And
comments?
that's all I have to say about that. That's all I have to say.
All right. Ms. Vincent.
I am glitching all over the place. You're all freezing up. So if this goes awry, you know why. On Judd's note too, I want to note that Solon just put out a survey on diversity and inclusion, and that's something worth taking a look at too as we move forward. I wanted to talk a little bit about Orange for the Holidays. Our deadline's approaching, and I want to thank Anna again for the work that she does on this. We have, besides Pinecrest, which is wonderful, we have 6 sponsors. Brent, I'm not sure, did you have a sponsor in your group too? 1, 2?
Yes, one. I lost one from last year, but one stayed on.
So I just want to give a shout out to the sponsors because they're putting money in to help us defray expenses on this. So shout out besides Pinecrest to The Experience, Lakeshore Learning, Orange Village Animal Hospital, Romano and Sons, Marilyn Anderson of State Farm, and Swedish Solution are all going to be sponsors again. And then we're collecting coupons from a number of other businesses as well. So
Which sponsor did we lose?
We excuse me, we lost Chula, and you
Good
can
one.
add Wasabi to that list of sponsors.
It's too bad.
Chula's participating, they're just not a sponsor.
So grateful for that and grateful for the addition of State Farm back to the list again this year. Condolences to the royal family and those of British background in our community. We do have some residents and are mourning the loss of Queen Elizabeth this week, and I just want to pay my respects there. In school news, the policy committee met and updated a number of policies for review. The board heard from co-chairs of the Orange Area Service Committee who gave a brief history of the program, which started back in 1963 as Neighbors Helping Neighbors. The program now receives upwards of $30,000+ in donations, which gets redistributed to 25 to 30 families per year, with about $800 going to each family. Help is available for any emergency situations like rent and utilities, but also on a smaller scale, things like academic support, camp, furniture and bedding is needed. So if anyone is looking for a wonderful way to support others in the community, consider donating. You can donate as a gift. You can donate as just voluntary. Everything's volunteer based. So if you are in need, please reach out. They have the money they want to share. The pipeline to the community is via school social workers. But if you hear about elderly or anyone else that might need any help, this is a great opportunity to reach out to them. The superintendent noted that the schools are working to host a Saturday morning booster shot program for students and staff, probably in October. This would be for the new variant booster shot. We'll have more information, or they'll have more information down the line. Also, the board approved an agreement with the Impact Group to provide strategic planning to the Orange School District and also the Orange Recreation Department. This will begin in the coming months with and expected 2023. Construction update was given, still waiting on some lockers, but other than that, pretty much on schedule. There will be tours of the new facilities available for alumni during homecoming weekend. And speaking of that, once again, a plug that homecoming festivities are September 23rd to the 24th, hoping to have a big return by alumni, many of which are on this call. The theme is There's No Place Like Homecoming. We look forward to crowning our own homecoming royalty and celebrating our Hall of Famers at a luncheon on the 24th. Hopefully some of you will join us. The board next meets on Tuesday, September 27th because of the Jewish holiday. So on that note, I want to wish all who celebrate a good Yom Tov, L'Shana Tova, and a safe and easy fast for Yom Kippur. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. All right, at this point, I will make a motion to adjourn to executive session for the purpose of discussing the appointment, compensation of village employees and possible discipline of a village employee.
And also,
Brandon,
also
I'd like
please
to
add,
include-
Oh, Steve?
Pending or imminent litigation.
and pending or imminent litigation.
Pending or prospective litigation, actually.
Okay, pending or prospective litigation.
And I need you to invite Lieutenant Roberts and Chief Costura into this executive session as well.
Okay, and obviously Steve. All right, is there a second?
A second.
Thanks. Anna, if you call roll, please.
Klein,
Yes.
Vincent,
Yes.
Kurland,
Yes.
Silver,
Yes.
Bilski,
Yes.
Perry,
That's,
Duber.
Yes.
I have a question. Steve, did you give in your Civics 101 to Mr. Bilski? Did you give him the executive session ground rules?
Of course. He could probably quote them chapter and verse.
All right,
Quality.
we're adjourned into executive session.
Okay, I'm gonna bring you.
There will be a test.
To the media, we don't expect to do any more business.
Brandon Duber, Brent Silver, Chris Costero,
Thank you and good night.
night.
Robert. Do I have it
Right.
right?
But
Okay.
Ed's still there. Oh, there we go.
For
We have everybody? No.
Everybody and Steve and me.
all right. And that's it. It's is this the second meeting? So I will make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. And Anna, if you'd call roll.
Klein. He's on mute, but
I'm assuming it's a yes. Thumbs up.
Vincent.
Yes.
Yes.
Kurland,
Yes.
Silver.
Sorry, yes.
Perry. I thought
Oh,
it
come
said
on, people, unmute.
Silver. Let's just go to bed. I mean, let's.
You were muted automatically.
Oh, yeah, that's what.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't know I was muted.
I mean,
Tracy, unmute.
All right.
Then I
Yeah.
took Steve and Duber.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right. And Anna, you don't need, you have everything, right, for the yeas and nays and all that.
Yeah, I think I do have everything.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we're good.
Anna, I just sent you a research project. We need 2 ordinances and some conclusions of fact, just 2, from 2004 and from 2011. You'll
And
see.
for and for the next meeting, we need an executive session on the same prospective litigation, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, and the conclusion of facts for the other one, everybody has to stop in and sign, correct?
Yes.
So did you share that, everyone, when you have time?
Oh,
This-
this is for the Capes.
The generator.
For the Emery Road one?
Yes, definitely.
Anna, when
Yeah.
will that be ready to be signed?
Tomorrow after 10, I have somebody coming in at 9:30, so,
All right, we adjourned.
okay, bye.
Bye.
Anna, I'm going to share that with
Good
you again,
night.
so you have it.